Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. This is the first guitar from ESP's recent 2022 lineup reveal out in the wild and out on YouTube. And it's a special one. This is an LTD Viper-1000 Evertune. Technically, this is the prototype because it's not even shipping to customers yet. Now, I've played a ton of Eclipses, a couple of Kirk Hammett signature models, even a Sparrowhawk, but somehow never a Viper. Time to see what all the hype is about. Smash the shit out of that like button. Let's take a closer look. Right, so it might seem a bit weird it's taken so long to demo a Viper on the channel. LTD is one of my favorite brands to check out, and my main guitar for years was an Epiphone G400 Custom. That's what Epiphone called SGs for some reason before the Inspired by Gibson line. And the Viper is like those two worlds combining, but up until a couple of years ago, the Viper really wasn't playing that big of a role in LTD's lineup. I think Reba Myers from Code Orange can probably take a lot of credit for repopularizing the shape recently, but the Viper-1000 series was gone for the longest time, and truth be told, they really weren't doing anything interesting with the shape. Lately though, LTD's doing a lot with their underutilized body styles. The Phoenix, aptly enough, has been reborn from the ashes and brought back to life in a big way. The Arrow is getting a lot more love. The original carved top TE style Eclipse was even reintroduced with the 87 series. There's just a lot more diversity all around. LTD is giving us a ton of reasons to be excited this year, introducing over 40 new models for 2022, including this Christian Bale Batman-inspired Viper-1000 Evertune.
People need dramatic examples to shake them out of apathy, and I can't do that as Bruce Wayne.
Massive thanks to ESP for sending this guitar over for us to check out together. I had the first 2021 LTD on YouTube last year, got to do it again this year, which is absolutely insane because I'm just some random dude on the internet. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty dope to work with one of my favorite guitar companies for an exclusive world debut, and I am not complaining at all. Alright, so some initial specs. We've got a mahogany body set through 3-piece mahogany neck with a thin U neck shape, which is still my absolute favorite neck shape ever. Bound ebony fingerboard with a 14-inch radius. Still not sure why they insist on doing that rather than use the 12-inch radius found on ESPs, but I guess some questions are never meant to be answered. We move. 24 massive extra jumbo frets, which as of last year are stainless steel because LTD has made that feature standard across all of their 1000 series guitars. So high-end core specs that are very much on par for the LTD course. Now the first thing I noticed about the Viper when I actually picked it up is that despite the obvious inspiration, it doesn't really feel like playing an SG. I'll try to explain it the best I can. So SGs are notorious for having horrific neck dive, which is just annoying. Like, you'll just be sitting at your desk, tracking guitar, shift your hands to the keyboard for editing, whatever, and the headstock is just like
Happy birthday to the ground!
And the Viper still has some neck dive, but it's not nearly as egregious. The body kind of has a Jazzmaster style offset going on for better weight distribution, and the body is a full centimeter thicker than the one on my G400 Custom, 35mm to 45mm. Or if you only work in Freedom units, that's about 0.4 of an inch, so you really feel it. This particular model has an Evertune bridge, which adds a fair amount of weight to the body as well, so that probably helps, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. The strap button has also been shifted from the neck joint to the upper horn, so neck dive is even less noticeable when you're using a strap. In the unboxing video, that was pretty much the most popular question about the Viper. Everyone wanted to know what was going on with the neck dive situation, and neck dive in general can be solved using the, well, I'm gonna call it the fluff method because I learned it from a fluff video and I thought it was incredibly smart. He uses stick-on wheel weights, puts them in the control cavity, and just uses as many as he needs to balance the guitar out. Pure genius. It's less than 20 bucks for 240 quarter-ounce pieces. They already have adhesive on the back. Such a cheap and simple reversible solution. Anyways, so yes, the Viper dives, but it's manageable. And in general, with solutions like fluffs, you don't have to worry about neck dive too much. Okay, so now that we've addressed neck dive, let's talk general playability. Basically, this guitar is really comfortable to play. As I said, this thin U neck, it's my favorite. It's thin, but not too thin. There's actually a bit to hold on to. You know what I mean? It's got a volute too, always a plus, and a satin finish, so it feels very quick, although it does collect a ton of fingerprints. Now, I've said this before, LTD does something special to their fingerboards. They're so polished, it's crazy. You can see in the demo track, my fingers are even reflecting off the fingerboard. It's nuts. And with the extra jumbo stainless steel frets, it's legit like playing on glass. Then you've got the set through neck joint, which is incredibly comfortable for upper fret access, if you're into that kind of thing. I haven't seen a set through joint on any other guitar in this style of double cut, so that's something that stood out. I mean, this Viper is so easy to play, it's a joke. And it's made even easier to play because it's always in tune thanks to the Evertune bridge. I love this thing, and I love the people at the company too. The bridge is magic, and they're longtime content partners of the channel. They helped me put one into my Squier Hello Kitty and 1965 vintage melody maker, and they've actually helped out by sponsoring today's video as well. You guys have pointed out maybe they should have named it the Nevertune bridge, because essentially that's the end result. If you've never heard me just absolutely shamelessly gush about Evertune bridges, it's this simple. This makes it so you basically never have to tune your guitar. You can abuse the living shit out of it. You can leave it for weeks, and then abuse the living shit out of it. Your guitar will not go out of tune. I once had an Evertune guitar that was lost in the FedEx void for literally months, and when it did finally show up, the box was beat to shit, but the guitar was ready to play. I'm not gonna lie, this box has seen better days. FedEx, I appreciate that. What do you think it is, Brinkle? Alright, let's open it up, see what we got. Right, Brinkle? Oh, yes! It's the Ibanez Ken Susi signature. I mean, the Ibanez Axion label RG something something ALET. I need to check my notes. If I wasn't sold before, I definitely was after that. So obviously the Viper came out of the box perfectly in tune, although it was an E standard, which is just unacceptable for a metal guitar in 2022. Tune low, sweet chariot. So I've just dropped the one string, which is super easy, by the way. I've seen questions about this, like how do you actually tune? You take an Allen wrench, and you just sit at the bridge. And each saddle operates individually. It's not like a Floyd where you have to balance the spring tension of the entire unit. So apart from drop tuning it, I haven't had to touch it once. And yes, you can bend and do vibrato with this bridge. It feels like playing a normal hardtail, except it's always in tune and there's no pitch drift. Pitch drift is when you pick really hard and the note goes sharp for a second before coming back. None of that here. Again, it's just in tune all the time. I fucking love Evertune bridges, man. It makes the guitar so reliable. And what's interesting is you'll notice on Gibson retrofits, they use a G-style bridge. It's got the extra ears, it protrudes out of the body more, and that's to compensate for the angled neck. So ESP actually changes the neck angle on their Evertune guitars. This is essentially flat, and that way they can use the F-style bridge that looks cleaner and has a lower profile compared to the G-style. That's something else that makes this guitar feel very different to an SG. What's kind of crazy about this Viper, it's an Evertuned equipped guitar with active pickups in 2022, but the humbuckers are not Fluences. They're EMGs, an 8160 TRW combo. Kind of funny, it's almost a throwback to a simpler time. Now, the tone knob is push-pull, which I thought split the neck pickup, but, and I can't find the comment, but thank you to whoever pointed out that's not actually how EMG TW pickups work. EMG uses a proprietary 3-coil design. In standard mode, you get the full humbucker, but pull up on the tone knob and you'll switch to an entirely separate single coil. So it's actually two entirely different pickups with their own individual voices in one enclosure. Very cool. People were ringing the death bell for EMG, but no, they're still here and their pickups still sound great. On the back, there is a dedicated battery compartment for the 9V. I'm still not sure why they've made it so you have 2 screws to access it though. It's not quick to access, and if you don't have a screwdriver, you're out of luck. Plastic pop-out compartment on Harley Benton's, for example, would have been a much more useful solution. I guess technically you could just leave the cover off since the battery clip holds it in, but that's pretty janky. Hot take though, for EMG equipped guitars, I don't like separate battery compartments. If it doesn't provide easier access, I actually prefer everything in one big cavity. Because with EMGs, adding additional 9V batteries to the circuit brings out the best in them. They become less compressed, more dynamic, which is basically saying the same thing. They're just more alive with the 18V mod, even more so apparently with 27V. And you can do it in a reversible way with multiple battery clips if they're all in the same cavity. That's how I did it in my ESP Eclipse. When it's like this though, you have to splice. And that's not a big deal at all, just when it comes to resellability, you want your mods to be reversible so you can put things back to stock. Okay then, so to wrap this up, just a few final thoughts. LTD's commitment to quality is insane. I have yet to play an LTD that is anything but awesome in the QC department. There are some areas inside the cutaways that haven't been sanded as smooth as the rest of the body, but this is a final pre-production prototype, and with that usually comes some weird prototype-y things. Nothing major that affects playability though, and I was expecting that. I was expecting we were in for a good time. What I wasn't expecting is, I thought this was going to be an updated take on the SG in the same way that the EC1000T CTM is an updated take on the Les Paul. That is not what this is. This is a completely different guitar. Thicker body, better weight distribution, extra jumbo stainless steel frets, Evertune. Forget the SG. This is a straight up modern metal guitar with an offset double cut shape. And you know, truth be told, I thought the Viper shape was kind of ugly for the longest time. Still kind of do, like it still doesn't quite look right. That is apart from this one. This Batman ass looking Viper is cool as shit. Black satin, black hardware, black chrome EMGs, no crazy figured tops or bright colors, just a classic blacked out metal theme. You know what? That's actually what this is. It's not an updated SG. This is a classic metal guitar, updated for the modern player. So that is the new 2022 LTD Viper 1000 Evertune in charcoal metallic satin. It looks coolish, but those are just my thoughts. I'd love to know what you're thinking in the comments down below. If you're new here, you may as well subscribe at this point. You made it all the way to the end of the video. Well done. Make sure to tick the bell for notifications as well. That way you don't miss any new uploads from me. Shout out to all my wonderful patrons that make this and all the other videos possible. They're awesome. Consider joining them if you want to support the channel and get bonus extras. I'm relaunching new merch soon, so in the meantime, affiliate, social media, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.